it's Liz Davis here. I am a nutritionist and a gut health specialist. I help busy women with their IBS, bloating, and all the other nasty digestive problems that we can face that can really impact our lives, and not in a good way. So one of the things that can impact your gut health quite significantly is not being able to sleep or a lack of sleep. So I was just going to do a quick rundown today of why it might be that sometimes we can't sleep, because it's often very difficult to know, to pinpoint exactly what the reasons behind it are, and then a few areas to look at to check off to make sure you are doing all these things to make sure that you do get a good night's sleep. So firstly, sleep can be a real problem around times of stress, obviously. Although sometimes we don't necessarily know we're stressed, it can be a very subconscious thing. So we might have something subconsciously playing on our mind, and the first indicator of that is that we can't sleep. So that can be pointing us in that direction. So it's not always that easy to know what's causing us not to be able to sleep. But then if we're not sleeping, it can lead to all sorts of other problems. So it can cause us to have food cravings, so carbohydrate, sugar cravings the next day, can cause us to feel very anxious the next day, which leads to a vicious cycle of this kind of can't sleep because you're anxious, and then you're wired so you still can't sleep, etc. It can also really impact your immunity, so really increase your chances of getting ill as well, which isn't great. So what sort of symptoms do people complain of generally? So the common ones are people will either take a long time to get off to sleep, which is super annoying, keep waking up in the night, not waking up refreshed, even if they feel like they have had a good night's sleep, or waking up in the night and then being awake for ages, so then not being able to get back to sleep again. So then the next day, this leads to this horrible tiredness, so you can't concentrate properly, you're moody, grumpy, depressed, you'll be having difficulty at work and school or whatever it is you're doing. And as I say, the anxiety and stress levels will definitely go up. This will also disrupt your hunger hormones, so it will cause you to keep wanting to reach for the high carb, sugary foods all day, which isn't great for our general health and our gut health, of course. So what's the best thing to do then? So food-wise, definitely, I would say avoid eating anything sugary late at night. So anything, or even anything very high carb late at night, so sweets, or even if you fancy, a slice of toast or something like that, wouldn't be fantastic for you last thing at night, because all that will happen is you'll get that boost of energy, that boost of blood sugar for a couple of hours, which will then drop off, and then as soon as it drops off, you're going to be starving, hungry again, so your body will wake you up to eat, so you'll wake up hungry, which isn't ideal. So that's firstly the first thing I would do. You can have like a high protein snack if you were really desperately hungry, although it isn't ideal to eat before you go to sleep anyway, but anything high protein, so like nut butter, hummus, anything like that will probably be better for you than having a high carb handful of sweets or slice of white toast or anything like that. Secondly, low magnesium levels can cause you not to be able to sleep that well. So in addition to having magnesium rich foods, another thing I would definitely recommend is to have an Epsom salt bath before you go to sleep. They are super amazing for you in so many ways. So having a bath itself before you go to bed is going to be really relaxing for you. You add in the magnesium, it's a great way for your skin to absorb magnesium as well, for your body to absorb magnesium is through the skin, and magnesium itself is very relaxing. It's also so great for de-stressing and anything like that, great for detoxing as well, so great for so many things, which is what we want. So also number 3, if you're prone to not being able to sleep, caffeine isn't going to be great for you. So definitely make sure you're not having any caffeine after about midday, or some people even are very poor tolerators of caffeine, so the caffeine they have even in the morning time is still going to be hanging around in their system late at night. It can hang around for well over 12 hours in some people. So that's worth looking at if you can't sleep. Maybe not have any caffeine for a few days and then see how that affects you. You may well sleep a lot better if you do that. Yeah, next, definitely avoid having a couple of drinks to get you off to sleep. It will get you off to sleep, but one of the effects of alcohol is it will wake you up again after 3 or 4 hours. It just becomes quite stimulating at that point, and you won't be able to get back to sleep again. So that's not great. Also, it stops you having good quality sleep anyway, alcohol. So even if it doesn't wake you up in the night, you will still feel the next day like you haven't really had much good quality sleep. Instead, chamomile tea is fantastic for you. So a couple of cups of chamomile before you go to bed, if you know that you're not a great sleeper, is really, really very relaxing and will help you. You can even keep a cup of it next to you if you know that you're likely to wake up in the night, and have a few sips, and then it will help you get back off to sleep again. Okay, next, definitely keep your sleep routine regular. So go to sleep at the same time each day, wake up at the same time each day, even over the weekend, because weekends can sometimes throw out our circadian rhythm and make us feel really ropey. So try and do that. Next, make sure that the temperature is comfortable for you in your bedroom. So coming into this time of year, it can get quite hot. Again, that will wake you up. So make sure you've got a nice temperature going on in there to prevent, any disturbance later on. Definitely electronics out of the bedroom, so no TVs in there, phones, laptops or anything. They emit blue light, which is very stimulating. So we want to avoid anything stimulating in the bedroom. So it's going to be, stick to books, reading books, meditation, things like that, in order to get to sleep and really unwind for the last half an hour. And also what might be useful for you is, if you are a worrier, if you've been busy all day, often when we get to bed, that's the first time we have to think about all these problems that have been building up through the day. So if you can get into the habit of a meditation practice or a mindfulness practice, which you can do early in the day, it helps get things in perspective, and you can clear out those worry thoughts earlier rather than waiting until you go to sleep to process all this. Okay, so there you go. That's a few reasons why you might get insomnia, and a few things you can do to stop getting it. I hope that helps you. And if you are finding that insomnia is impacting your health, particularly your gut health, then do hop on a call with me. I would love to find out more about you. And I will put a link in the comments. Okay, so I'll see you next time. Bye.